Hey guys, so I know it's been a while since I've made a video for this channel, but I still plan on vlogging and telling the story for each one of the paintings that I do. I've just had a lot of things going on this fall, and I guess part of the reason for that is this painting has just been such a long time coming. I think I started it back in October and just finished it in this, I guess I just finished it this last week. So it's taken a while, but I want to tell the story behind this painting and kind of walk you through it. So to begin that story, I think we have to start with the setting where it takes place. So this is a mountain range that sits just outside my home called the Bridger Mountains. It's a fairly long and narrow mountain range, which on one side overlooks the valley of Bozeman, Montana. We see these mountains on a daily basis, and they're just kind of a part of our lives. They're always there in the background, but I've never really thought of them as a very impressive or extravagant mountain range, and that might be in part because they are so close and we see them so often. But this past fall, Eric and I took a hike up towards the south end of the mountain range, kind of across the valley, where you could get kind of a unique perspective of these mountains. And I don't know if it was the fall colors, which were kind of at their peak, or it was just a nice day out, but I became really inspired by just the view that day and the way the mountains looked. The blue atmosphere against maybe the fall colors was just really something that sort of drew me in. So the next few days I spent some time around there and took a few shots, was there for a couple sunrises, and was able to catch a really nice one that I just knew I had to paint, and the photo from it just turned out beautiful. And so that's really where the painting begins. Using that particular photo, I constructed the composition pretty much right from that reference and just sort of blocked in the whole painting just as is. Pretty quickly though, I realized that I wasn't too excited about the foreground. I like the background, the backdrop, but just decided to make a change with the foreground and just try something sort of from my imagination. And so that began the process of making a lot of changes. I changed it again and again and again. I can't remember how many times I changed it, but quite a few. I think this is kind of a process that I go through in my head where I find one aspect that I like, I keep it, and then rework everything else until I find the next aspect that I like, and then keep that, and then just keep working the rest of the painting until I can come up with something that I'm satisfied with. So finally at this point, I started to figure out that this is what I wanted with the painting. I was happy with the composition, I liked the colors, and I sort of committed to the overall piece, which means that I start going in and adding fine details and just working my way across the entire canvas. About right here though, I hit my biggest roadblock, I felt. And that roadblock was figuring out what my subject matter was going to be for the painting. I feel like it's always the most difficult for me to decide because the subject is really going to dictate what the feeling of the painting portrays, the story it tells, and just what the whole painting really becomes about. I thought about a cabin scene, I thought about some horsepackers, different wildlife, but at the end of the day, really the only thing that helps me decide that is to just get out of the studio, get outside, get into the mountains, go hiking, and just see what I can find, see if something can inspire me. And so I spent a lot of time in October and November doing just that. And one experience in particular was with some elk, which really started the process of me wanting to include elk into this painting. I already had some reference in mind, but I wanted to bring you guys out and kind of show you where that reference comes from. So I loaded my camera gear up the other day and headed out into the mountains for a small day trip, and here's what I found. It's just after sunrise. This is a popular area amongst the elk to come here in winter, get refuge from the snow, the predators, find forage.
group of elk. I'm gonna keep moving. See if I can't find a bull or something. There's a whole bunch more. Pretty much all cows. Got to be 1,000 of them. I saw a whole bunch of elk dart off over into here, but I don't know if they went into the trees. You'd think this would be a place where I might be able to find a bachelor group or something, some bulls. I might have been right above them, because there is just oodles of tracks. I don't know if you can see that. Going right across and then going into the trees down there. I think it's a pretty good bet that's where they went. It's not to say there's still could be some more up here, up ahead. Well, I don't think we're gonna find a bull. Saw plenty of cows. There's still some more down there, but figured I'd bring you out anyways, see the countryside. It's a beautiful day. I don't know what's going on, but a whole group of elk down here, pretty big group, just got spooked, and they're coming up this way. They're coming right towards me. Experiences like this are what boost my motivation to create. And although I had some old reference of mine in mind, days similar to this is just what I needed to get started. With the elk in place, I was able to envision the painting completed. It felt like a huge weight was lifted, which made the goal seem much more in reach. As it progressed towards the finish, I knew I had accomplished what I was originally after. And quite honestly, it's a pretty amazing feeling as an artist to do what you set out to do, and to feel successful in that. I want my paintings to tell the story of my life, as well as the inner workings of my thoughts and ideas. I feel like this one came pretty close to that, and I guess that's all you can ask for.
Well, that's basically it. That's sort of how I came up with the painting and what I was thinking about when I was creating it. Hope you enjoyed. Now I just got to figure out what the next one's going to be.